behind me is the next motor yacht to sell in San Diego, a 2005 Sea Ray 550 Sedan Bridge known as Yatsi. Yatsi is incredibly clean and ready for new adventures. She offers a 3-stateroom, 2-head layout, a sizable cockpit and salon, a molded fiberglass staircase, and is powered with the sought-after Common Rail MAN 900s. But before we get into any of the machinery or interior aspects of this boat, I need to point out a few things up here on the bow, starting with this black hull. Now, this is a painted hull. This is not gel coat. And given that it's paint, it offers much more durability and shine to its gel coat counterpart. And it is much easier to take care of. It doesn't lose its luster as time goes on. And then, of course, continuing with our trend of stainless steel, this boat has a full stainless steel bow rail from front to back. And then when you start looking at all of the other metalwork on the boat, you'll see that either the metalwork is stainless or some powder coated stainless as well up on the Flybridge, but there's no aluminum used on this boat at all. It just helps add to the mystique and the appeal of this 550. As we transition aft, you'll see that there's 360-degree windows all the way around. The front cover can come off to allow more sun in, but at the dock, we like to have it covered just to help with that UV protection. And then as you come aft, you're able to come into the cockpit. This boat has a davit for the tender as opposed to a hydraulic swim step. And I like a davit better because have you ever been on a boat, you drop the swim platform and you see a light oil sheen on the water? Well, that is your hydraulic rams weeping because they're submerged in salt water all the time. This boat doesn't have the hydraulic system. Instead, there's a davit right here. It's out of the elements, it's out of the salt water. You do not run the risk of salt water getting in and blowing out those seals. And then there's chocks that hold the dinghy cradle that slide in and out. So when the dinghy's not here, this turns into one flat area. Now that we're in the cockpit, you'll see that there is a faux teak flooring made of cork. I've come to really like this type of material. You don't have to sand it, it's easy to clean, and most importantly, in the summer, it does not get hot. And then when it gets wet, it dries very quickly because it's porous. So if you want an alternative to teak and don't want fiberglass, I would highly recommend this corking material. And then just here in the cockpit, you can see how much space there is. The current owners of this boat, when they have a lot of people on board, will even add 2 folding chairs here looking aft, and there's still plenty of room to get access to your engines and to maneuver around. So of course you have this bench seat, you have storage, and importantly, the molded fiberglass staircase. I know this boat well. I've spent hundreds of hours on this boat. One of the reasons why the current owners of this boat bought this model in particular is because of this molded staircase. It allows children, elderly people, and even those that don't really have great sea legs to navigate from the cockpit to the bridge very easily without risk of falling down a ladder. So I cannot stress how well this works when you have your hands full of food and drinks, you're running it up to the bridge, you can do so very easily, even while underway. Coming into the Flybridge, you're immediately greeted with the helm layout. Of course, you have 2 captain's chairs and a very nicely laid out helm from both an electronic standpoint, but also from a visibility standpoint. Again, this is a boat that I have personally captained many times. How this is positioned gives excellent visibility to both the bow and the stern. So if you're docking or anchoring with just one other person, you can easily do so. Something also often overlooked is placement of the bow thruster in relation to where your hand will be for the throttle. In this case, you can have one hand on the throttles, one hand on the thruster for those tight quarters maneuvering, and it's very easy to maneuver this boat. Especially with those torquey motors, this boat moves around very easily. From an amenities standpoint, of course, we already touched on the captain's chairs. There's a bench seat back here with storage below, an enclosure that wraps 360 degrees around the boat. So if you want to run air conditioning or heat, you can do so, and it encloses it. There's a C-style settee all the way forward. And then of course, there's a wine fridge and a regular refrigerator up here so that you don't have to go down below to get your refreshments. But speaking about down below, let's go take a look at the interior amenities. Welcome to the interior of Yatsi. Now this boat was designed with both entertaining and comfort in mind. The 360-degree wraparound windows are evident yet again and let in a ton of natural light. Now I get the opportunity to go on a lot of boats. This is a boat that you want to come aboard, take your shoes off, sit on the couch, and then you don't want to leave when the day is done because the boat is that warm and welcoming. And when you're ready to sit at the settee, you can do so on either the port or the starboard side. And then there's a movable ottoman and a movable table also here in the salon. And of course, there's an entertainment area with a flat screen television paired to Bose speakers. As we transition one step into the dinette and the galley, you will see that this space is not all blocked off with staircases and steps everywhere. The singular step allows your eye to flow through the space and to really feel how big this boat is. Back over to the dinette. This table is adjustable, so depending how many people you have, you can accommodate by sliding it in and out. Of course, there's silverware storage and pots and pan storage below that. And then just to the starboard side is your galley prep area. Of course, you have your freezer, your cooktop, and your sub-zero refrigeration drawers, along with all the other appointments that you would expect from a motor yacht of this caliber. Now let's head on down to the 3 staterooms and check those out. As we come down the carpeted curved staircase, you'll find the master stateroom to aft. The layout of this stateroom allows for full walk-around capability of the berth, and of course there's an ensuite head with shower. Again, as you look around the interior appointments, you'll see stainless steel used everywhere, along with mahogany and oak wood. Transitioning forward and down the hallway, you'll find the bunk room that has over-under bunks that are offset to 90 degrees. Continuing forward, you'll find a head and a linen closet. What's unique about this layout is that the head and the shower are separate from each other. As you continue forward, you'll find the VIP stateroom with an island berth. The VIP stateroom gives access to both the singular head and also the standalone shower. This allows both the shower and the head to be more spacious. Now that you've seen the overview on Yatsi, I encourage you to come to the Kona Kai Marina here in San Diego. I want to go through the engine room together. I want to show you the machinery. I want to show you the 2021 Inmar tender that's included with the sail. I want to take you stem to stern so you can see all the nuances that makes Yatsi so special. So give me a call, Zach Zorn, at 760-815-8866. We'll get you to San Diego. This boat's held in a transferable single LLC, so she's ready to go. Let's get you and your family out on the water.